Welcome, everybody. Welcome to One Body, One Mind Wellness YouTube channel, where you will learn all about natural health and holistic health. So my name is Carmen. I'm a board certified nurse coach. I've been a nurse for 13 years and owner of One Body, One Mind Wellness. I'm super excited to be here today. We are going to be talking about how nurse coaching was life-changing for us and how it completely transformed our career today. Um, so I felt completely defeated as a nurse prior to nurse coaching. The healthcare system in many ways is abused and overused way too much to rely on your overall health. We know that 80% of disease can be reversed with lifestyle change, which is why I got super excited about nurse coaching and how it puts the client in charge of their own health. As nurse coaches, we help them create healthy habits that they can change and create through their life and help them elevate their health. So today I'm excited to introduce Nadege. We met we met in the nurse coaching collective, and I was just looking, I'm like, crazy, it's been a year. We started
Crazy.
in March. So we developed our relationship. We were able to coach each other one-on-one and experience that life-changing experience of nurse coaching. And also through that, we created this amazing friendship, which I knew was going to last. And so here we are today, and I'm super excited, Nadege, to hear from you. So go ahead and just introduce yourself, give us some personal information. Go ahead and take
Yeah.
it away.
All right, all right. Hey guys, I'm so excited to be with you guys today. I'm excited for your platform, Carmen. This is awesome. Going to do great things, and I love your work and all your products and everything that you do. I am Nadege. I am born and raised in Miami, Florida, born from two Haitian immigrant parents. So I got a little culture mix of Haitian American in me. And it doesn't help being in Miami with all the Latin American cultures and everything and everybody else. So I see a lot of different faces and different cultures and people where I live. And I love it. I love that. I am married now for about 4 years. I am a dog mom. Um, Kids soon, maybe in like a year or two, they will be coming to theaters near you. Um, I always loved fitness. When I was in high school, I played, and I'm 5'1", but I made it to play volleyball. But I was at the back, the digger. I was always a digger. I always wish I could jump over the net, but God didn't have that plan for me. And I played soccer and softball for a little bit. Started track, but I just couldn't make it with track. And yeah, I love reading. I love reading nonfiction style books, self-help, wellness. I don't know. Nonfiction is for me. I do like a couple fiction, but not a lot of them. And I love to travel, which I'm sure a lot of people out there do, seeing different cultures, different things, and just being in a different environment from your home. It's always nice. Even if it's a staycation, I always love those. And I live in Miami, so it's always like a staycation. And that makes it so easy. I'm telling you, just, do 2 days on the beach side and just relax. So I love things like that. Love going out to the movies. I'm a big Marvel fan. Love eating out. I love to eat. And I think a lot of people love to eat. I love to eat.
Yeah, don't we all?
And I've been a nurse now for over 6 years. So that's me in a nutshell.
I
Oh, and
love
I'm Christian.
it.
How could I not say that? I'm Christian. I love Jesus.
Oh, me too. I feel like that was a big part of our connection too, how we just connected. We had a lot of the same, values and beliefs. So
Yeah, yes.
that's awesome. That like hearing you say you feel like you're always on vacation. That just makes me want to come down there and hang out with you.
Yeah,
Like I'm love hanging out on the beach. That just sounds amazing.
yeah.
So, briefly describe your career as a nurse prior to nurse coaching.
hmm Yeah, so like I told you guys before, I've been a nurse for 6 years now, which time I just don't understand. I would be considered almost a, well, I guess I'll be considered a seasoned nurse, which I remember my first day on the floor being scared. I remember being so excited for all the little things, and now it's just amazing to see where you start and where you grow to be. I started off in the nursing home for about 2 years, got my time management there because you have to get that there. Then I moved on to the acute care, worked in the hospital and stepped down med surge. It was like a neuro tele for people who work in the health field, neuro tele, and then I was a neuro step down. And then finally, after 2 years after that, um, while working in nursing home, I finally got my, foot in the door to work in ICU, which was my dream. I wanted to work in ICU ever since I graduated, but it didn't work that way for me. Everybody's has their own, plan. And I made it to the ICU and I love it. I've worked in medical ICU ever since for about 4 years. And then in that 4 years doing like, I think it's like 2 years doing like travel nursing in ICU. And pretty much now they float me everywhere in between med surge, step down, and ICU. And I've just been loving it so far. It's been great. Been up and down. It's been learning, growing, and it's just an interesting field to be a nurse. It's just a love, a hate, a sincere, a passion. It's just hard to explain, but it's an amazing career.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Um, and I just have a couple questions to add on to that. Like, as a nurse, like as you being the nurse on the floor, do you
Uh-huh.
feel like you have like all the time that you would like to educate your patients and like all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, no, I don't, unfortunately. And once I started really, tapping in into like this health promotion, health and wellness, and nurse coaching direction in my life, it you didn't realize it. It was just like a process. People come into the hospital, we treat them, get them to feel better, and send them home. And
Hmm.
as a nurse, we do give, you know, discharge, and you get discharged home, a brief discharge education, and you just sometimes you don't even have time to really break down everything and encourage people like they should. It's just like all right, here's your discharge packet, go get your meds and be on your way. And that sucks. But now I've been practicing as much as I can and like throwing in there, please go on walks, take your medicine like you should, and little things like that. So to answer your question, no. And the way the work is on the floor is just so busy. It's just fast paced and almost like a in and out kind of game. Unfortunately, you don't have time to really sit and like break down, okay, this is better for you, this is not, try these and that. And unfortunately, another thing that I've been thinking about lately is the follow-up. I think there are some hospitals that have follow-up nurses that do follow up with patients, but sometimes I just wonder about patients. I'm like, I wish we could follow up a little bit more and see how they're doing. So I think that's important and not seen enough in the hospital nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think that was one of the hardest parts for me as a nurse was knowing that the client or the patient needed that education and needed that time and connection to create those healthy habits and changes. And it's
Hmm.
like us as nurses, we have so many clients or so many patients, we don't have time to actually sit down and fully educate them and fully give them, the information that they need to make those changes.
Yeah.
So this will kind of go into the next question. Describe how nurse coaching was life-changing for you and kind of like what it did for you personally.
Hmm. Yeah, so I've never heard of a nurse coach, and I think a lot of people here have never even heard of anything like it. And I think it's an amazing career to get into, or to just tap into because it's cool. And if it did exist before, I just wish, and I think it is now, to be spoken about more. And it has taught me a lot of how to serve and help people in a better way, I guess I can say, compared to just um, the fast-paced environment of a hospital, of just patching, up the problem and sending them home. Being Finding nurse coaching has taught me the power of deep breathing and slowing down, which you don't get that. And now, as I've been taking, or once I finished my nurse coaching course, I've been slowly implementing like things like that with my patients. If I feel like they're stressed out or anxious, I'll be like, can I get your phone? And I throw on a YouTube mindfulness meditation, and I just listen to this for a little bit, and then sometimes I don't have time to stay in the room. I'll just go on to the next patient, but at least I have that in the background, just like cooling them down and soothing them. So the power of just slowing down, deep breathing, and um deep listening with people, and listening to listen, not just like, superficial, but like deep listening. So that has helped me a lot as a
Mhm.
nurse coach. Um, just being passionate about helping people to find or like helping them heal their root health issues from the root, and not just like patching it up, um, with just pills and medicine, and which is great. I'm very grateful for medicine and where it's on all the medical advances that we have is amazing. But just like stepping back and focusing on the little things, like I said, I'm building healthy habits, which of course doesn't happen overnight, but it is possible. And finding the nurse coaching program has helped me a lot in that, and being a coach. And I remember comparing, like, everybody needs a coach. I remember hearing the top professional athletes have coaches at their side, helping them, supporting them. So why don't we? You know,
Mhm.
why shouldn't we? So I think it's an amazing that we have that option and opportunity. And it's just been life changing because life is so precious, and why not take time to help that person, preserve their precious life. And it's just a lot. And I'm very happy that I found this course and this coach collective that you talked about randomly, just in my life, being exhausted from working at the bedside, wanting something different, searching, Googling, reading. I found the Nurse Coach Collective, from by Peter and Heather, and they opened my eyes to a different world and different opportunities out there. So I feel like that was a very long answer, but it's very life changing. And I'm happy I found it, I think, to sum it up.
No, I think that was great. And I loved how you mentioned that the medical system is so great. Like we have a lot of advances and, it also can be life-changing with, emergent care and with emergent surgeries and all that. It's
Yeah,
definitely needed. And I think once we can find the fine line between abusing the system and then actually using it for when we need it, that's when it makes a huge difference. Um,
yeah,
with people realizing that they don't have to go to the doctor for every single thing, but when they can take control of their health and make those small little changes with their
yeah,
health, with their, the way they're eating, with the way they're moving their body, with healthy relationships,
yeah,
um, with stress control. And when you add all of that together, it makes a huge difference.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
so I want to kind of know, like, what is your passion behind helping people and improving one's overall health? Like, um, what really grabbed your passion in doing that?
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you can't tell already, but I am passionate about um, this area, But two big things in my life so far has motivated me to focus on health and wellness was first COVID, which I know that is like probably answer for a lot of people. COVID opened the eyes for a lot of people in different areas in their life, financially, spiritually, mentally, everything like that. And so it opened that for me working at the bedside. I was one of those nurses at the forefront line, like they would say. And it was traumatic. Now that I sit back and I reflect, like it was traumatic. Like you know, lots of emotions, seeing people when they're saddest, most, heartfelt moments alone, lots of times, passing by themselves. It was traumatic. And the amount that we've seen it at, and the workload, stress. I mean, I was working 5, 6 days a week. If there was a financial reason for my personal reasons for doing that too, but it was a lot too. I wanted to help out. It was so short. People, they needed help at the hospital. And so, and then hearing in the background, like a lot of things like you hear like could have been prevented, or you see the kind of patient population with chronic illnesses like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, that was really like getting hit hard with COVID and passing, and experiencing like bad health um, responses or effects. That started to like stir my curiosity. Like, okay, there has to be more than this. It can't just be. This cannot be life. Like, this cannot be life. And I know that's gonna be marked down in history that I worked through. I worked through a pandemic. I
Mhm.
guess I'll tell my kids about that.
Mhm.
But and then while going through that, my mom had a stroke, a hemorrhagic stroke. 50, was she 59? I think she was 58 or 59, which is young. That's
Mhm.
young. And that was very traumatic in itself. I mean, the roller coaster of emotions, starting from anger until, just everything. I mean, now, I'm finding peace with everything because everything happens for a reason. And so, having her go through that during COVID too helped, like, instead, like, motivating me. Of course, I was a little bit guilty too. Like, me, I wasn't, you have to start questioning yourself. I wasn't there. I'm a nurse. Like, why didn't I? We know that stroke is time is brain. If we got to it sooner, maybe she would have had as much debilitating effects that she has now. But we're past that. And so that anger, all those emotions, and 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 the feelings that I felt turned into a passion where, I want to be able to help somebody and their family members, or that person in their future generation, to prevent some of these things and bring awareness to, like, bro, like, in simplest form, move your body more, go on walks. You don't have to be a pro athlete. You don't have to be like a super heavy lifter. Know the simple stuff. Going for walks, go get your checkups, check your blood pressure, and things like that. And focus on nutrition. Oh my gosh, a lot of people, and even me, I didn't really notice or understand the importance or the weight or value of nutrition in response to health, you know. But
Mhm.
many times we focus on working out and getting fit, but that's only 20% of everything. We gotta, like, 80% comes to how we eat, what we nourish our body with. And um so yeah, that's where that passion came from. And now I'm just like full for it, like doing helping. First I got to work on myself, right, before I can help other people. So working on my nutrition and like improving where I can improve, and fitness levels and journey, so that I can be able to empower and pour out into others, and just spread the health and wellness gospel. It's not the gospel. Health and wellness, you know, empowerment, and information that it's out there. It's crazy because it is out there, but it's just, I don't know why. It's just not talked about enough. I don't know. So that's where it comes from.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I know that's a very, personal story that happened with your mother, and, with going through COVID and working with that. And so I can definitely see where your passion comes from. And um like, I know sometimes, God always uses certain situations to turn to good, and there's definitely some good that came from that. And just allowed to fuel your fire to help spread the awareness of how we can actually, have an impact on our health. And so that's just amazing to hear that. And I like how you said too that we also need to take care of ourselves too, because I know that's one thing that they really stressed in the Nurse Collective was, how can you take care of someone else or help someone else if you are not taking care of yourself first? So pouring into yourself. And I think that's very important. And so I love that you mentioned that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. So the next question that I have, how important do you believe spiritual and mental health is for our overall health?
Super, super important. Um, I do believe we are mind, body, and soul, and spirit. And it all balances and like works together to make us this one person, one being. And when one part is unbalanced or overworked and stressed, it affects the other part. And it presents itself like sometimes anxiety can come as high, you present yourself as high blood pressure, or you have panic attacks because I don't know, life is too stressful mentally. And what else is another example? Depression, mental, it's all connected. It's crazy. Um, and sometimes working on your fitness life and being more active produce those serotonins and all the endorphins and hormones that can help with depression or anxiety and all that. So it's all connected. It's crazy. You feel better, you do better, you live better when you have more energy because you've just been nourishing your body with like more greens and like I believe greens are the secret to life. Like a lot of people, it's like the secret. A lot of people that's like, how like Superman has like where does he get his source from? From the planet, like greens, like vegetables, the fruits and vegetables. That is our like energy. I really do believe it. Water, fruits and vegetables, like that's where our energy, the more, you take of that, of course, with balance with protein and all that good stuff. And if you're vegan or not, well, it's not even, I'm not even trying to get there, but I'm just saying, just having more of that good stuff, it just helps you mentally, physically, emotionally, and in all kind of areas. And like there's some foods that can help with certain health issues, so it's all connected, it's all balanced. Our body loves balance. So and then I guess I could touch on to some things where some people like who are super into like health and like fitness, but then they're overworking. Like you're in the gym 6 7 days a week. It's too much, and then you get stressed out, and you're not working on like your mental like health, and you're just working out, and then you get into binge eating or under eating or overeating because you're so worried about the physical looks, and you forget about the mental part of just learning to find a good relationship with food and find a good relationship with health and wellness and fitness is unbalanced. We like our body, our lives are meant to be balanced, you know. Uh, we have work and we have play, not too much play and not too much work. This is like balance, and it's all connected. And once you find that balance, we're not perfect. There's gonna be seasons we're gonna have more than the other because there's seasons where you gotta go on work mode. You know what I'm saying? But when you have that time and fall back to like and go back into like, okay, no, I need to slow down. I need some time off. That's where the I need a vacay time comes from, I feel like. And just listening to your body most of the time will tell you in different ways. Pains. Oh my gosh, pains. Like I'm just learning about different areas when you have pain in a certain area of your body. It can be your body trying to tell you like slow down. We're stressed out. Like Nadege, slow down. Our back is hurting. We need a minute. So it's all connected. And unfortunately, like in healthcare, we focus, I feel like you see more of a focus on one side, which is like, I feel like the physical part of it. We try, especially as nursing, we learn in nursing about like focusing on the spiritual aspect of patients and listening, but it's just it's hard to do when you don't practice it a lot. It's not anybody's fault. We just don't practice it, and it's just interesting to see how impactful and powerful the mind, body, soul takes care of us if we take care of it.
Yeah, I love that answer. And like you said, it seems like in the medical system, we definitely focus a lot on the physical because that's what you see. You can physically see, certain symptoms and things like that. But a lot of times the spiritual, the mental, the mind, body, values, morals, and all that gets lost just because you can't see it. And a lot of times
Yeah.
we just don't have time to really dive deep into the behind the why and all of that. So yeah, I love how you mentioned that and brought that in there. So thank you. Um,
Yeah.
we have one final thing here. If you could give the listeners 3 tips on their health, what would it be?
Yeah. So my first one is to find some time to practice deep breathing, breath work, mindful meditation. You can find it on YouTube. I think there's like an app on your app if you have Apple. I don't know about Android, where you have like a mindfulness or deep breathing moment you can work on, and just like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. Just try to practice that in your day. It can help so much with stress and everything else in your body. So practice mindfulness. Um, breath work would be my first recommendation, first tip. Secondly, is like I said before, you don't have to be super athletic. That is a choice. Different goals, different people have different goals if you're competing and everything like that. But just go on walks. Start with 10 minutes a day, work your way up. The minimum recommended is 30 minutes a day. You can go up to an hour if you want, but don't overdo it. Listen to your body. If you're tired, you're tired. But just go on daily walks, daily movements, you know. Um, of course, because of the weather and all that, if you can't, maybe do like a 10-minute inside kind of thing. Just move your body 10 minutes a day minimum. And then lastly, for all my people who are on meds and are taking medication, please take your medicine like you should. Take your medicine like you should. I'm talking to my Caribbean folks who believe in teas. The teas are there, they're supportive, they're adjunct, but take your medicine. And if you do want to come off or you want to wean them down, do it with a provider. Figure out like the core issues of your health, whether it's maybe I should eat better, maybe I should lose some of this weight and get and reach healthy weight, and maybe I should walk more, and then figure out how to taper that down with a provider. Because lots of time we don't realize, like when we skip blood pressure medicine, it just skyrockets, and then the levels in your body is not able to control it, and it's just like a mess. So take your meds as prescribed. If you're on depression medicine, anxiety medicine, seek mental help and figure out if you can wean off some meds, but take it as prescribed because it makes things worse and harder many times, as I could see from my mom's experience and from working at the bedside. Most of the time, people come back in the hospital because they just stop their meds and unfortunately have, you know, bad effects. So those are my top three.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
And to kind of go off with the medication part too that you were talking about, um, because a lot of times when people go home, they're not making those changes in their diet. They're not, um,
Mm-hmm.
exercising more,
True.
so their blood pressure won't be stabilizing, but that maybe they could have a long-term goal where they start making changes in their diet. They start
Mm-hmm.
making changes with moving their body and then working with their doctor with possibly like slowly weaning off that medication and getting off that, because
Mm-hmm.
that is something that is a realistic goal. Like, once you get prescribed a blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medication, it's not something you have to be on for the rest of your life.
Forever.
Yeah, this
Yes.
is something that you could eventually, if you start making the changes that you need to make, like that would be a great goal to like work with your doctor to hopefully like wean off on some of those. But yeah, like definitely if you're
Yeah.
not making any changes, then your blood pressure, obviously will still stay up, and not taking that medication could cause, a lot of like issues with your organs and with your heart and all of that. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so that's awesome. So
Mhm.
I feel like we talked a lot about, nurse coaching and how it was, life-changing. And for everybody listening, if, they want to learn a little bit more about nurse coaching, I will put in my link to my nurse coaching, and I'll also link your social information to Nadege. Do you want to maybe share any of your information with the listeners?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, so right now I am mostly on IG, mywellness.corner. Um, that's like my main thing. And then I have a TikTok where it's my wellness corner. And eventually, hopefully, work on my YouTube channel. But right now, I'm mostly on IG at mywellness.corner.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think, our main passion for meeting here today was to just spread the wellness, to help empower others to take control of their health. It can be done, and for my own personal self, I've made changes in my life, and I've been on a healing journey and healed certain diseases that I've been, working on in the past. And then I've also heard other people's stories of them, making
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle changes and completely reversing type 2 diabetes. So it's
Yeah.
just like amazing. And it's like hearing those stories, it just fuels the
Mm-hmm.
fire, and it's so inspirational. And,
Yeah.
that's why we're here, is just to help others with their healing journey, to be there for them, to support them.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
just, yeah, so passionate about it. I know you are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so,
I just like to point that you said two things that you said, that we should take control of our lives. Like it's our lives. And
mhm,
many times we put that power in other people's, especially, and I'm not coming against providers, but we put that power into providers in medicine, pharmaceutical medicine, and the news. But take that power back and say,
mhm,
this is my life. So I'm gonna research, I'm gonna consult, I'm gonna look for different opinions and get more involved in your life because it's yours, not mine, not Carmen's, not the doctor's. It's your life at the end of the day. So
mhm.
we have to take control of it.
Yes. And we're only given one body on this life to take care of. And it's our
Yep.
job to take care of it to the best that we can.
Yes. And it's a lifelong journey.
Hmm.
Lifelong. It's not going to be a year. It's not going to be 3 months. It's a lifelong journey of just constantly improving and getting better.
Hmm.
So, yeah, this was awesome. I'm glad that you had this. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Nadege, for being here today. And like you are amazing, and you're
Thank
amazing
you.
nurse, amazing friend, amazing
Thank you.
wife. So I just really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to be here with us today. Um, so yeah.
Yeah. And if you have more of these, hit me up. I would love to be on this. This was amazing. Um, I'm happy to see all of the work that you're doing in the community too. Um, just keep on going.
Awesome. Well, thanks
Yes.
everybody for listening today. We hope you stay safe and well, and we will see you very soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.